Hello everybody, it's the All-Arounder, and welcome back to Kaiserreich, and or as I've been calling it before, a normal but not normal playthrough. So, as we left off from last time, Middle Africa demonstrates a nation of what not to do. And the lovelies are coming back from the Russian Civil War, plus 5,000 manpower. It's a little less than, I think it's a little less than what you said. That's a little It's a little less than what you send over, but you also get stability and army experience. The stability is the biggest thing that's helping us. We need strong buffer. Besides, we still want them in our faction. Okay. Go ahead and... I don't really need the manpower at this current moment, so I'm going to go ahead and try to get more stability. Oh, and this is another thing I added that I believe other nations can do too. I added the Training Generals mod, which is pretty much... they've actually updated it recently, but it's levels 1, 2, and 3. You get 1 random skill, 2 random skill, or 3 random skills. This requires 5 army experience / command power, 25, and then 50, or 100 experience, but 50 command power. In this sense, this is like an attache, but it's better to just kind of spam out the level 1s. It's just something that everybody can use, but it will get everybody a chance to have those strong generals. So we have those 3, plus a war in Africa ending, which is nice. Russia's sweeping up the Don Kuban. Looks like Indochina is at full capacity, and like I said, I knew they were going to win. Yep, there's Russia. In Ludendorff, guys, it's kind of sad. Even after the death reported early in the morning, Erich von Ludendorff remains one of the most controversial people. And then another event. It's the problem with Kaiserreich. It has lots of events, but it's no big deal. Southwest Africa wins the war. Not all is lost. More stability. But yeah, he was renowned for leading a kind of military dictatorship, even in our timeline. No, I don't want really. Oh, Jesus. But yeah, on the one hand, he was a hero of the Weltkrieg. Keep him here. No, definitely not. Because if a war breaks out between me and the communes, he stirs up shit. Send his ass to America. I really don't care. But yeah, on the one hand, Erich Ludendorff was a famous general during the war, but at the same time, he, along with Generalfeldmarschall Hindenburg, Paul von Hindenburg, they led kind of a proto-military dictatorship in the sense that they kind of governed what happened in Germany with all the military forces and what was going on. And eventually, in our timeline, when they lost, it was just done. There's nothing that could have been done. God. And, of course, yes, I'm still sick. Mexico went syndicalist. You know, honestly, I've seen them go down this, like, small handful of times. I've never really seen them go down the moderate victory. It's either always this or this. These two seem to be, like, this is the most, this is like the second most. This is like the third, and this is never. I've honestly never seen him do a moderate victory after playing a lot of Kaiserreich. Second Congress doesn't really do much. It's just an event. The Commune of France is justifying a war. They're not. They are going after Switzerland. Probably want to reorganize our people. Yay! The Rhine is calm. That is always a good thing.
Befehle!
Of course, our tank divisions are still a bit shite, but that's because of our economy. It's stagnated.
Zuhören!
Go ahead and train these up and at least get the majority of these up to regular, regular.
Ihre Befehle!
That is not what I wanted.
Bereit zum Ausrücken!
Just in case if this happens again. Okay, so like I mentioned, I think it was back in part 2. Switzerland's government had changed over to communist or syndicalist, and I got refugees. Well, if they submit and just become their puppet, then they'll get Romandy and or Haute-Savoie. So we'll kind of figure out what's gonna happen. Go ahead and get these reserve divisions.
Achtung!
Nope. Okay, so there's that. Go ahead and organize the youth. Somebody's fighting. Who's fighting? Oh. Romanian Civil War. Kinda interested to see who wins. Usually by now they're usually within the first couple of weeks the Iron Guard kind of steamrolls the kingdom, but looks like support got to them just in time, but I can't really see this, so I'm not entirely sure what's going on. Hopefully our tanks and stuff will get everything relatively caught up. Wait a second. I already got my planes split up. Civil War in Spain, of course. Use this. Combine these two. Combine these two. I find 200 a fairly decent airwing. Set these on strategic. Knock out the military and the air installations first. The same thing here. Military air installations. Go ahead and get things moving. Okay. I've actually got, hold on. I don't have the manpower. I don't even have the manpower for that. Am I creating now? No. I don't have enough manpower for even one. That sucks. This. Tank divisions. Infantry. We'll get engineers in the field hospitals. You want to go ahead and... Yeah. Plus, by also creating these, if they do what they did last time, ooh, that's good, and start naval invading in non-port positions, I can go ahead and just quickly deal with them. I think I'll split it in half, because it did 20. So, I mean, I think I'll just split it in half, and then just go from there. Because with the Swiss, I only got like a two-province border. Caved in. That's not gonna go well for them. Oh yeah, I find this actually really cool. Unser Kampf. The Propylaean. Yeah, sure. Publishing house has today announced the intention to release a new series of books devoted to the individual German soldiers' stories, accounts, and poetry from the conflicts of the Weltkrieg, titled Unser Kampf. Notable examples include the Diaries of Sergeant Adolf Hitler. Now, I think this is cool, and if you read the, like, timeline, it actually talks about him. So, pretty much a Sigmund who, amongst other distinctions, was awarded no less than 2 Iron Crosses for his valor on both the Western and Eastern fronts. And the thing is, he serves in the Western Front, and then when the war is won in the West, he moves to the East when the Russian Civil War kicks off, and is actually killed in the Russian Civil War. Army budgetary request from Belgium. In an effort to prepare their southern border against a cynical threat, the government has requested a nuisance and military restrictions. Yeah, why not? I mean, seriously, why not? Seems pretty straightforward to me.
Alright. Angetreten. Achtung. Bereit zum Ausrücken. Befehle.
abnormally fast. Hold on 1 second, I gotta pause the video. Okay, so kind of continuing back. I think I'm just gonna make these videos like 20 minutes because that seemed abnormally fast. But yeah, same thing with the Air Force. We're gonna go ahead and allow them to do that. It's more political power. I'm gonna go ahead and do this just to even get more political power.
Ihre Befehle. Angetreten.
Create a United Command out of this stuff and give them Wilhelm III, or in this case, Wilhelm von Preußen. Order was turned in Burma. Young Kingdom recently faced deep political crisis, restored order thanks to swift revolution action of the Ostasian fleet. Cool. Burmese ambassador acknowledged their appreciation for the German Empire, and the Admiral Helmuth Moltke. Now they seek closer relations with the German Empire, protect their independence and stability. Ooh. Sure, why not? Defense and charisma. I always tend to just do defense and charisma.
Bereit zum Ausrücken. Befehle.
Split
Ausrücken.
Here, and then half here, because they tend to invade towards Bremen and this area between Hamburg and Kiel. So who knows? Figure out what's going on, and we will go from there. But yeah, this is pretty much the setup stage, and hopefully things will go well. Ooh, speaking of going well, the Kingdom of Romania might actually win this. And this is something I kind of find interesting. I wonder what kind of focus tree they will add, if they do add, to the Kingdom of Romania. Because it's a return of a monarchy that was once defeated in the Weltkrieg. Ooh, increase, yeah, that's a good thing. Excuse me. God, I can't wait to get rid of this sickness. It's not even bad, it's just annoying at this point. Looks like Mongolia's at war with Tibet and Maklik. Kind of iffy, but it looks like the Mongolians will win. They usually do. Brazil went communist. Oh god. Well, that's not good. But this isn't good either. Hope them for the best. Or at least I hope they just... If they do win, I hope they don't join this, because it's going to be annoying. It's just one more thing I gotta worry about. But, in due time, nevertheless, could be worse. The recordings I've been doing, it could have been the last game I had, which would have ended extremely fast. Get something to drink. Much better. I'm also kind of interested to see when they add a Kingdom of Finland tree. Because, I mean, they did Sweden, they did Norway, they did Denmark. They did everything, practically. Except for Finland. And then, of course, they've got, like, all these other nations down here. I read, actually, in one of the minor course, despite Bulgaria being a dick and embargoing us, we will support them nevertheless. But yeah, one of the progress reports I read is Togoland is actually supposed to have ah, is supposed to have a focus trade, which will be extremely interesting. Oh, and I always do this because it's a good amount of manpower, but also a civilian factor. Plus, it's about the moderate amount of, like, the lowest of political power hit. So. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what they do with this. There's a lot of nations that start out, but yeah. I think I'll about end it here. It's about a good time to end it. So, this has been the All Arounder, and I will talk to you guys later.